The silent exile. The message arrived on Earth with the cold precision of an executioner's blade, transmitted through quantum channels directly to the United Earth Government headquarters in Geneva. Its contents were brief but devastating. By unanimous vote of the Galactic Federation Council, humanity was to be quarantined within their solar system. All interstellar travel was forbidden. All alien embassies were to be withdrawn. Any human vessel attempting to breach the quarantine zone would be destroyed without warning. The Federation's reasoning was simple. Humanity was unpredictable, aggressive, and evolving too quickly. In the mere 50 years since first contact, humans had reverse-engineered alien technologies that had taken other species centuries to develop. The vote hadn't even been close. The 7 elder races had deemed humanity a potential threat to galactic stability. Commander Elena Reeves stood at the viewport of Lunar Base Alpha, watching as the last alien diplomatic vessels departed Earth orbit. Her reflection stared back at her, dark eyes hard with determination, jaw clenched beneath close-cropped black hair threaded with silver. At 45, she had spent half her life preparing for war with a hostile universe. Now that war had arrived, but not in the form anyone had expected. "They think they're containing us," she said to Admiral Zhang, who stood silently beside her. "They think this is the end of humanity's reach." Zhang's weathered face remained impassive. "Perhaps it should be. The Federation controls thousands of worlds, Commander. Their combined fleets outnumber ours 1,000 to 1. Numbers," Elena scoffed. "That's all they see when they look at us. Metrics, statistics, probability models. They don't understand what they've done." The Admiral raised an eyebrow. "And what is that?" Elena turned from the viewport, her eyes gleaming with something dangerous. "They've unified us, for the first time in human history. Every nation, every faction, every competing interest has a common enemy. And they've given us something even more valuable." "What's that, Commander?" "Time and motivation." She activated the holographic display embedded in her wrist communicator. A 3-dimensional schematic appeared between them, a massive structure hidden within the asteroid belt. "Project Sentinel is ready for full implementation. The Federation believes they're watching us. They have no idea we've been watching them for years." The next decade passed in eerie silence. From the Federation's perspective, humanity had accepted their fate with surprising dignity. Observation posts at the edge of the Sol system reported normal activities, continued development of Mars colonies, mining operations in the asteroid belt, the usual radio chatter of a civilization focused on its internal affairs. What they couldn't see was what was happening beneath the surface of Ceres, inside the hollowed-out moons of Jupiter, and in the shadow of Saturn's rings. Humanity had gone underground, literally and figuratively. The quarantine had indeed unified Earth as never before. Resources that would have been wasted on internal conflicts were redirected toward a singular purpose, breaking the chains that bound them. In a vast chamber carved from the heart of Ceres, Elena Reeves, now director of the United Earth Defense Force, stood before the assembled leaders of humanity's secret resistance. The chamber hummed with nervous energy as holographic displays showed the fruit of 10 years' labor. "The Federation made a fundamental error," Elena explained, her voice echoing through the chamber. "They judged us by their standards, by their evolutionary paths. What they failed to understand is that humans evolved as pursuit predators. We don't give up. We don't stop. And most importantly, we adapt." She gestured, and the hologram shifted to display a sleek vessel unlike anything humans have publicly built before. The Spectre-class deep reconnaissance vessel. Equipped with our new quantum displacement drive, it leaves no detectable wake in space-time. It can pass through Federation detection grids as if they weren't there. One of the assembled leaders, the representative from the African Union, leaned forward. "You're proposing we violate the quarantine. The consequences would be—" "Only if we're detected," Elena interrupted. "The Federation maintains their superiority through information control. They restrict certain technologies to maintain the hierarchy of their member races. But in isolating us, They gave us the opportunity to develop along paths they never anticipated. The hologram shifted again, showing a map of neural pathways, human-machine neural interfaces that exceed anything in known Federation technology. Ships that can hide not just from sensors, but from reality itself, briefly phasing between dimensional states. Weapons that target the very fabric of space-time. Alina's voice softened, but somehow became more intense. They thought they were containing a threat. Instead, they created one. 3 vessels slipped from their hidden docks in the Kuiper Belt, accelerating silently into the void beyond the solar system. To any conventional sensors, they didn't exist at all. Crewed by volunteers who had undergone extensive neural augmentation, these first explorers of humanity's new age had a simple mission: gather intelligence, map the true extent of Federation territory, and find the weaknesses in an empire that spanned 1,000 worlds. Captain Maya Chen felt the specter ship Umbra as an extension of her own body. The neural interface connected her nervous system directly to the vessel's systems, allowing her to sense the subtle gravitational fields of distant stars, taste the radiation of solar winds, and feel the empty coldness of space against her skin. It was disorienting at first, this expanded consciousness, but now she couldn't imagine piloting any other way. Approaching Federation Outpost Gamma 9, she subvocalized, the ship's systems translating her thoughts into the mission log. No detection alerts. Beginning passive scan. The outpost orbited a nondescript gas giant in a system the Federation considered strategically unimportant, a refueling station and minor communications relay. Perfect for humanity's first close study of Federation technology in operation. For 3 days, the Umbra hovered invisibly near the station, its advanced systems absorbing every transmission, analyzing every energy signature, and mapping every component of Federation technology. When they finally departed, they carried with them the most comprehensive intelligence humanity had ever obtained on their galactic neighbors. Similar missions continued for years, each more daring than the last. The Umbra and her sister ships penetrated deeper into Federation space, visiting major worlds, monitoring military installations, and even infiltrating shipyards. They discovered a civilization vast in scale but complacent in security, confident in their technological superiority and the stability of their political order. Meanwhile, beneath the surface of Mars, human engineers worked tirelessly to adapt and improve upon everything they learned. The first generation of true warships took shape in hidden construction bays, vessels that could outrun, outfight, and outthink anything in the Federation's arsenal. 15 years after the quarantine began, Alina Reeves stood before the United Earth Council. Now in her 60s, her hair completely silver, but her eyes still burning with the same determination, she delivered the news they had been waiting for. "We are ready," she said simply. "Phase 1 of Project Sentinel is complete. Our intelligence network extends throughout Federation space. Our manufacturing capabilities exceed our projections. The Deep Space Fleet stands at 47 capital ships and over 200 support vessels, all with technologies the Federation cannot detect, let alone counter." The council chamber was silent for a long moment. Finally, the Secretary General spoke. "After all this time, the question remains, what do we do with this power? Do we break the quarantine openly? Declare war on the Federation? Negotiate from a position of strength?" Alina's expression remained neutral, but there was a slight curve to her lips. "None of the above, Madam Secretary. The Federation feared us because they couldn't predict us. They couldn't control us. I propose we prove them right." "Meaning what, exactly?" asked the representative from Oceania. "We don't announce ourselves. We don't reveal our hand." Alina activated a holographic display showing various strategic points throughout Federation space. "Instead, we begin to reshape the galaxy quietly, invisibly. We protect the weak. We humble the strong. We become the ghost in their machines, the shadow on their walls, the force that moves pieces on the board without ever being seen." She looked around the chamber, meeting each council member's gaze. The Federation wanted to contain us. Instead, they forced us to become something far more dangerous than they ever imagined. We won't be conquered, and we won't be conquerors. We'll be something the galaxy has never seen before. And what is that? Asked the Secretary General. Elena smiled fully now, a predator's smile that never reached her eyes. Justice. The first sign that something had changed in the galaxy came when a notorious pirate fleet that had been terrorizing the outer systems of the Orion Arm simply vanished. Federation investigation teams found only debris fields and emergency beacons transmitting the same cryptic message. Justice has been served. Shortly after, a mining corporation exploiting a pre-spaceflight civilization found their operations suddenly crippled by mysterious technological failures. Their computer systems displayed a single message before shutting down completely. The weak are under protection. Across Federation space, similar incidents multiplied. Criminal syndicates disappeared overnight. Corrupt officials found their secrets exposed. Military vessels attempting to intimidate less powerful worlds experienced catastrophic system failures. No one claimed responsibility. No demands were made. But a pattern was emerging that sent shudders through the halls of power in the Federation capital. Someone, or something, was enforcing a new order, and the greatest empire the galaxy had ever known was powerless to stop it. In the darkness between stars, humanity watched and waited, their invisible hand now moving pieces on the cosmic board. The quarantine intended to contain them had instead unleashed them in ways the Federation could never have anticipated. They had become the shadows that haunted an empire, the unseen force that bent the arc of galactic history toward justice. And on Ceres, in her command center deep beneath the surface, Director Elena Reeves monitored the reports coming in from across Federation space and allowed herself a small smile. The game had only just begun. The Reckoning. 20 years into humanity's quarantine, the Galactic Federation found itself facing an unprecedented crisis. What had begun as isolated incidents had evolved into a galaxy-wide phenomenon that defied explanation. Federation warships disappeared on routine patrols. Secure communications networks experienced inexplicable breaches. Entire star systems reported ghostly vessel sightings that vanished from sensors as quickly as they appeared. The Federation's vaunted stability was crumbling from within, and no one knew who or what was responsible. In the Grand Council chamber on Alpha Prime, the Federation capital, 7 elder races gathered in emergency session for the first time in millennia. The chamber's ancient architecture, soaring crystalline spires, and gravity-defying arches contrasted sharply with the mood of panic that permeated the gathering. High Counselor Zextrol of the Alpha hierarchy rose from his levitation pad, his translucent appendages shimmering with bioluminescent stress patterns. "The pattern is undeniable," he announced, his voice translator rendering his ultrasonic communications into standard galactic common. "These incidents are coordinated, methodical, and increasing in frequency. We face an organized threat of unknown origin and unprecedented capability." Unknown origin. The Vexeri representative's exoskeleton clattered with derisive clicks. Is it not obvious? Who else possesses both motive and the unpredictable nature required for such actions? The humans have breached containment. A murmur rippled through the chamber. The Myraxian elder, oldest among them, raised a gnarled appendage for silence. "Impossible. Our quarantine net surrounds their system completely. Our monitoring stations have detected no unusual activity. The humans remain primitive, isolated, and controlled." In that moment, as if responding to the elder's certainty, every communication device in the chamber activated simultaneously. On every screen appeared the same image, a simple geometric shape that humans would recognize as an eye within a pyramid, but which meant nothing to the assembled counselors. Then a voice spoke, transmitted somehow through systems designed to be impenetrable. The voice was calm, measured, and unmistakably human. "You judged us without understanding us. You feared what we might become, so you tried to cage us. But in your arrogance, you gave us the greatest gift possible, the motivation to exceed even our own potential. On Cirrus base, Alina Reeves stood before the transmission array, her aged frame supported by the exoskeleton interface that connected her directly to humanity's vast intelligence network. Around her, the command staff of Project Sentinel watched in silence as she addressed the Federation Council directly for the first time. For 20 years, we have watched you. We have learned your strengths and your weaknesses. We have seen how the elder races exploit the younger, how your vaunted Federation serves only to maintain power where it already exists. She paused, letting her words sink in. Today marks the end of that era. Not through war, though we could wage one if we chose. Not through conquest, though your defenses would fall before our technologies. But through choice, yours and ours. Back in the Federation Council chamber, displays activated showing detailed schematics of their supposedly secret defense systems, their classified fleet deployments, even the personal security codes of the counselors themselves. As we speak, human vessels occupy strategic positions throughout Federation space. Our technology surpassed yours a decade ago. We could have struck at any time, but we chose a different path. We chose to be the correction this galaxy needed. The Vexari representative rose in fury. This is outrageous. An ultimatum from a quarantine species. Activate the defense fleets immediately. We will crush this human rebellion before. The counselor's voice died as every power system in the chamber suddenly failed, plunging the room into darkness. When emergency systems finally activated seconds later, a holographic projection filled the center of the room. A complete, detailed map of Earth's solar system, revealing what the Federation's monitoring stations had failed to detect. Massive shipyards orbiting Jupiter's moons, energy signatures indicating technological development far beyond Federation standards, a defensive grid extending throughout the solar system that made the Federation's quarantine barriers look primitive by comparison. We are not offering an ultimatum, Alina continued, her voice now echoing through the chamber from 1,000 hidden speakers. We are offering a choice. The Federation can continue as it has, and we will continue our work from the shadows, protecting the exploited, punishing the corrupt, and gradually reshaping the power structures of this galaxy. Or you can acknowledge that your judgment of humanity was flawed, end our quarantine, and work with us to build something better. In orbit around Alpha Prime, the human stealth vessel Penumbra decloaked deliberately, revealing itself to the planet's defense grid. Captain Sanjay Mehta felt the ship's systems through his neural interface, aware of the thousands of Federation weapons now targeting his position. With a thought, he activated the ship's defensive protocols. Not shields, but something far more advanced. The incoming targeting locks simply slid away, as if the Penumbra existed in a reality slightly offset from normal space. Federation weapons operators watched in confusion as their most advanced systems failed to maintain a lock on the human vessel that was now casually violating the most protected airspace in the galaxy. On the bridge of the Penumbra, Captain Mehta smiled. Transmission from Director Reeves coming through. Broadcasting system-wide as ordered. Alina's voice continued to address not just the Council now, but the entire capital system. To demonstrate our intentions, we are decloaking the single vessel in your home system. We have similar vessels positioned throughout Federation space. We have had them in place for years. At any time, we could have initiated hostilities. We chose not to. In the Council chamber, the Alpha and High Counselor had recovered enough composure to respond. What are your demands, humans? What do you want from us? Alina's voice took on a harder edge. We don't make demands, Counselor. We offer a new beginning. The Federation quarantined us because you feared what humanity might become. You've never considered that your action would catalyze that very transformation. Now you must live with the consequences of your choice, as we have lived with ours. The holographic display in the chamber shifted, showing scenes from across Federation space. Human vessels providing aid to worlds struck by natural disasters, advanced medical technology being shared with species suffering from plagues, primitive civilizations being protected from exploitation. For the past 5 years, we have acted as the conscience the Federation lacks. We have intervened where you would not. We have protected those